is it really a loss? And what is the context of who Paul's talking about?
Believers.
Well, he isn't just talking about believers, he's talking about ministers.
Where he goes on the next
Specifically.
verse to say, do you not know that you are the temple of God and that the Spirit of God dwells in you? So
Yes.
in that context, I think he's talking about.
No, he is. But if you go back and read, he's talking about ministers, and if any minister build on a foundation other than Christ.
Yeah. So the loss there is that
The loss for the minister is if I come and try to build on a foundation that isn't Christ, I'm not going to receive the joy of seeing the life of God manifested in people. And everything I tried to build through my own works will be lost. Now, can we extrapolate some part of that to all believers? And is Paul doing that later on? Probably yes. Right? So it's not to say there's no part of what you're saying there that isn't true. But that, when you get into the reward there, for me, we'll just use me as an example as a minister. I've come and we've built on the foundation that is Christ. We haven't built on another foundation. I haven't come in telling you about how you're going to be blessed financially if you give me 10% of your money. You see how I haven't built on that? I haven't come in and told you how you can be fruitful if you'll serve in the church or if you'll do all these different things. I haven't come in and said that. So I've built on the foundation that is of Christ. There's a reward for ministers that do that. Do you know what the reward is? Paul tells us what the reward is in Philippians. He says that he didn't come to them seeking a gift, but that fruit might abound in their account. And that he was filled with all joy, not that they gave him money, but that he saw the fruit of generosity born in their hearts from the gospel. The reward for a minister is not that they can get a big building. It's not that they can get people to sing their praises. It's not that they can have a TV show. It's not that they can build a memorial to themselves. That doesn't mean that those things can't happen, but that's not the reward for a minister. People that want to get into ministry, let me say this loud and clear. If you're not happy enough just seeing people filled with the love of God, don't get into ministry. If that don't get your goat, if that can't quench what's in your heart, then don't do it. So the reward that Paul's talking about there for a minister is if they build on the foundation that is Christ, and they don't build wood, hay, and stubble, or on a different foundation, they're going to receive the reward of seeing the fruit of God abounding in people's lives. Right? And man, you feel happy. I promise you, you feel happy. There's no greater joy. Thomas can attest to that. But a lot of people can attest to this. There's no greater joy than seeing life born in a person. When you see it. When you see they've been touched by the love of God. Man, that's just wow. And so that's the reward that's being talked about there. Right? And so at the judgment seat of Christ is like what Revelation would come and talk about as the fire test.
So it's like saying someone's got chains on them and they don't lose their chains. That's another way of looking at it.
Yes.
Because what they built their life on, say it's sand, and they lose that as a foundation, is that really lost? No. If they're standing on the rock now, compared to the rock, it's not a loss.
It's not
Is
lost.
that how you're saying it?
Yes,
Okay.
but it could be lost to them initially.
Initially.
All their labor
Yeah, but that's like saying
will be a loss.
Yeah.
It won't actually be lost for them in the end.
Yeah, right.
All the labor that they thought, like if I thought I was building a beautiful thing here by telling you guys you had to give me 10% to be blessed by God financially, and I thought I built a real big building here with all that money, and I was looking at that as if it was, man, that would be a loss. Right? That would be burned up. It would be proven to be just a dead idol. Do you see what it'd be proven to be an Ishmael. Right? I mean, people want to come and say, no, don't you talk bad about tithing 10% of your money. Look at this building we've built. And then as our good friend Birdie would stand up and say to them, don't come bragging about your fornication with the flesh and the Ishmael that you brought forth. Just because fruit is present, don't mean it came from God. Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, Abraham brought forth an Ishmael. There was fruit there. It just wasn't the promise. Do you see what I'm saying?
A more mild way of putting it might be, it would be like losing a limb.
It would be like losing a limb. I love Bertie though, man. There's no guile in that guy. He goes to a minister's conference. He's busy telling them that. All these ministers at, and the one guy stands up in the middle and is like, don't you speak ill of the system we've used to gain all this.
You know,
Bertie's not like me. He doesn't care if he upsets people. I feel bad after I got to get free from that. I feel bad after I feel like I've upset somebody. But then Bertie's like, you mean your fornication with Hagar? What? Oh, you don't necessarily get invitations when you come back, Billy.